All right, guys. Of course, this is DJ Wolf Live. All right. Got a couple things on my mind. I was thinking in the last couple of years, man, how I found out how ruthless some of our own people can be. And I know some of y'all gonna say, "Hey, you be cool when you talk about the people, the women, and all that." Well, it's how I feel. Just like everybody has their own opinion, their own right to their own opinion. Well, I got mine too. Damn it! I'm just gonna keep it 100 with y'all, man. I have to. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect, and nor do I make any bones that I am. I really don't. We all have our little idiosyncrasies and issues about things and all of that. But one of the things that I've always tried to do, if somebody's doing something to motivate and uplift themselves and their families, I was never one to hate. I was always one to appreciate and give them big ups and big props for what they were trying to do. But I've had that issue with people when it comes to me for decades. And I still don't understand it. I still don't understand it. Here it is. 2020. We're dealing with the biggest health crisis in the history of the planet. Not of the city, not of the county, not of the state, and not of just the United States, but of the whole wide world. You know what I'm saying? The whole wide world. This has affected millions of people. This is not a game out here, people. This is not a game at all. This is real. And I've heard people on YouTube recently talking about it's a hoax. There's no proof that this is actually a hoax. To tell you the truth, guys and gals. If anything, this is a major health crisis. Because this thing, if you look at it from the gist of things, is not just affecting people of color. It's not just affecting poor people. It's not just affecting rich people. It's not just affecting old people. It's not just affecting young people. This is affecting anybody who comes in contact with this virus. And it's not about, because they try to classify wealth and race. But I'm gonna get to the thing about envy in a minute. This is a slightly similar from what I'm talking about, but not completely. But what I don't understand is how people gonna go on YouTube and say it's a hoax when you've had people affected by this across all regions, across all boundaries, across all races, across all classifications of status, and say, "Oh yeah, it only affects certain people." I'm not down with the BS. I don't specifically know exactly how this thing started in the first place. They want to point to a specific country, and the only reason I won't point to a specific country because this is something that those guys have been doing for decades. So don't tell me that all of a sudden now this is a problem. That this just bullshit just started. I don't believe that. Didn't believe it then, don't believe it now. People have been eating like that for decades. People have been slaughtering unhealthy and unclean animals forever and a day. But you ain't see people like that, that many people getting sick. Come on. Real talk. That's all a bunch of hogwash. And yeah, I said it. it's all a bunch of hogwash. You know? And I still believe it's all a bunch of hogwash. I'm trying to be nice about it, as you can tell. But this thing is you know, I don't know. It's the weirdest damn thing. I will say this. I know we're gonna get through this. I had a long conversation with my son yesterday, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna get through this. We are gonna get through this. You know, there's no doubt. 400 years through racism, through slavery, and civil rights struggles, and Reconstruction, and all that stuff. You know, damn, my wheels kicking up around my car. But we're gonna get through it. This is the bottom line. You know, we are survivors. You know, and we're gonna keep on thriving and surviving, as I say. No question in my mind. You know, but I also say this. Oh boy, we've endured a lot of mess, and I know, and no doubt about it, white people for decades have always been envious of us. Especially the last 50 years. They've really been envious of us. We wear the coolest clothes. We have the coolest slangs. We're good at everything that they do, and in some cases even better. I'm not saying to be bragging, but it's just a fact. You know, think about it. You know, some of the biggest names in pro sports are African Americans or Africans. You know, some of the biggest names in entertainment are African Americans. Some of the biggest recording artists in music history, many of them, are African Americans. You know, we invented music anyway. We invented music. You know, we reinvented entertainment. We reinvented sports. You know, we reinvented a lot of things, and we are very good at what we do, and things that we do, and things we've strived and achieved in doing. And they don't like that. Problem I have is not about them being jealous of us, which I do have a problem with that. The problem I have is our own people being jealous of us when we're supposed to be uplifting each other. You know? You got that section of our own communities where people expect you to get something or look for an opportunity to get something out of you as a result of your hard work. And then they hate on you because of something that they lack in doing. That's what I hate. I hate that so much because people don't know. People like, you know, I heard somebody one time talking about, oh, hey, you got a house and blah, blah, blah. You know, no, nothing was easy for me because I actually had to get the house because I went through 3.5 years of doing a lot of stuff that I didn't want to do, but I had to do it in order to achieve where I wanted to be. People don't get that. Really? Okay. No, I'm not moving, fool. You shouldn't have backed up like a freaking idiot. Boy, I swear these people ain't got no damn gumptions right here. You don't need that much from that little ass car. Come on. Okay, but you being stupid, be stupid. Come on. Boy, I swear these people ain't got no sense around here. But anyway, what are we doing? But nevertheless, though, you know, I just don't get, what is this guy doing? You trying to start, you know, like I said, again, our own people are jealous of us for stuff that we done that they never achieved or accomplished. This is a true story, and I've talked about this before. My father had a friend, longtime friend, that worked at the company he worked at downtown for many, many years. Good dude. And it was probably about, I'll say about close to 10 years ago, if not 10 years ago. Maybe a little longer. And I hadn't seen him in a number of years. I hadn't seen him in about probably almost 2 decades. And we talked for about 10 minutes. And he asked me, what did I do for a living? And I told him what I did. And I swear, he had the oddest look on his face. It was almost like, who you think you are? Instead of saying, yeah, you know, that's all right. I'm glad you got there doing what you're doing. He just had the oddest look on his face, like in disbelief that I could even achieve anything. I felt so disappointed and hurt. Kind of hurt by him because he was a guy I kind of looked up to. Just like I did my dad. I looked up to this guy just as well as I did my father. And they were really good friends. You know, and I was kind of like, I was a little bit disappointed in that, man. I was totally shocked. I didn't exactly expect the attaboy, but I didn't expect his attitude when I told him about it. You know, I was like, really? It was just like, oh, you know, what you think you are? I was like, wow. And that was the look that he had on his face. It wasn't like he was, and he was, I don't know, he didn't seem too enthused about it. I was shocked. But he did talk about how, you know, he went through the struggle and wanted to do the things he wanted to do, and I felt for him on that. I'm not going to kid about that. I'm not going to front about that. But don't blame me for doing the things that you couldn't do and make it look like I was wrong because of what I achieved. You know, me and my son had a long discussion about something like that one time a few years ago, where he went through college and I helped him get through college. You know, help him get his way through college, but you know, number of means, and he got there. He played football for a number of years, and you know, boys, girls clubs and stuff like that. He played sports in college as well. I never hated him. If anything, I wish I could have been doing it. I wish I had the opportunity, you know. But it never bothered me that he did it. You know, I wanted him to succeed in doing something like that. That's what a father's about. A father is about you giving or pushing the opportunities for you giving your kids a chance to be able to achieve the things that you never achieved. That's why it's important for men to be fathers in their children's lives. Very important. Just by that alone. You know? Yeah, like I said, that's just wrong, man. You know, it's, you know, we need to learn when there are people who are positive in your lives, man, to really soak up the information. Because that's an advantage for you to be able to do great things, man. For real. I would have never been able to do what I'm doing today had I not listened to not only my parents, but other people who exhort positive, you know, who push out positive things in positive words and positive, were just positive people who actually had the positivity to give you the knowledge and the wherewithal for you to move ahead. You know, so you have to surround yourself with people of positivity, man, and stop worrying about what your friends think. You know, that was one of the things, because I mean, I had friends who were very positive and were doing great things, man, and trying to make something out of themselves. You know, and I had some friends who weren't exactly like that. But the ones that were the ones I stuck to the most. You know, that's what helped me get through. But all of this jealousy and hate and stuff, I can't deal with it. After last year, I said I'm not dealing with no hateful people anymore. I just couldn't. I could no longer surround myself around that mess. You know, but you know what? I look at it like this. God has always had my back for more than 55 years. And there's a reason why God had my back for more than 55 years. Because he knows that I always try to come from an honest place. I really do. Sometimes, when I think about the things I went through, especially the last 3-4 years, man, I get really heartbroken about it. Because I never expected it to be the way it is now. Never. I don't talk about it much anymore. So try not to. But it does hurt. But I do know God got my back. You know, it's a long road to toe, man, but I have to endure it. You know, people are going to always have a reason to not like what you do, regardless of how good or how bad you are. They're going to find something. They're going to find something about your character that they just don't like, or just don't add up to them based on their personal standards. And even though it makes me sad, there are people that I know are like that towards me. And although I have no malice towards them, I just learn to deal with it. I just learn to live with it. I learn to live the fact that I love myself. See, that's the key to getting over people who are envious of you. You have to learn to love yourself. They ain't gotta love you. You if anything, you should care less about whether that person love you or not. They don't like who you are because you're being you. Then don't mess with them. You know, don't have no association with them if necessary. You know, that's what I do. You can't make everybody like you. That's all I always say. And not everybody's going to like you. You know, that's just how it is. It's the game of life. You know, and you're gonna find somebody who's gonna be jealous of anything. They can be jealous of you if you got a new pair of shoes. I've been through that too. You know, it's just so stupid how envious people can really get over the smallest shit, over the dumbest and weakest of stuff. You know? Big girl looking that way at me. I'm not sure why, but if you would have do, she would have do too. But it's just, you know, I don't concern myself with that anymore. I just like, hey, I learned to live with it. I know God got my back. I ain't concerned about how Negroes is anymore, or anybody else for that matter. I don't care. I want to live my life the way I live it. As long as I treat people right, I give a damn about what other people think. And that's the way it should be with you as well. Just a little friendly advice from me. Because I know how people are. I've been through that. And you know what? You can't make everybody like you. That's just the bottom line. This is DJ Wolf.